And with us to talk about Hungary, we have Gáspár Keresztes, Wacław from Wacław Felczak Institute. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me.
So Viktor Orban is Europe's longest-serving prime minister, 14 years since 2010. That's a lot of years, and we see that many polls are showing...
Not only Europe, but also Hungary's longest, yes.
That's right, that's right. We see polls that shows that, maybe not rapidly, but that his support rating are actually going down. And I guess my question is, are people tired of Viktor Orban, or is it because he's ruling for so long, or is it about his stance on Russia, European Union? What is your take on that?
No, I would say not. In the last few terms, he won always by a two-third majority, so that wouldn't be the case. I think we have to step back a few months, a year maybe, when the popularity of the ruling party begin to fall. It's about the half of last year maybe. And it began to gradually go down. And in the beginning of this year, in February, March, there was also a factor of a moral issue or a scandal, which was in connection with the president who let someone free who was involved in a pedophile case, and that caused a huge scandal even amongst Fidesz's voters. And as the other factor, in the last 2 months, there's a new challenger, a new player on the field, who's called Péter Magyar, and he seems to be, as for now, the personification of all the opposition expectations.
Yeah, indeed. And I think that name, Péter Magyar, that's now an interesting one, because he himself, coming from very close ties to Orban himself, close ties to Fidesz, so it's an interesting candidate to run this. I want to jump ahead, because I think right now we hear that he's also now launched his new party, TISA, as a new movement against that, trying to, I think, very much grab European attention. We've got European elections coming up. Orban already doing sort of very grand statement. He was in Brussels, I think, last week at this NatCon conference. I think there's CPAC Hungary, which is happening from tomorrow. I mean, he's trying to really boast about his achievements. But if we look at the MEPs, I think there's about 21 Hungarian MEPs in the European Parliament, 12 of them Fidesz, which is currently unaligned in the European Parliament. So what's going to happen here? Can Magyar maybe grab some of those seats? Could they potentially knock out a few and really change the dynamics here in politics in Hungary and Brussels?
Well, just today a new poll came out which showed that Péter Magyar's party, this new party, has already about 23% support from voters, which is a huge number. Just in the last week, he gained 6 extra percent from 21 to 26. And for example, in the age group of 18-27, he's the most supported politician right now. Of course, there's just one poll, but it surely means a thing. And Péter Magyar took a smart move with this to start in the European elections, because it's on the 9th of July, and it's in Hungary. It's held together with the local elections. So there will be even more voters at the ballot, even more than at the usual European elections. So even if people who normally wouldn't go to vote for the European elections, they will come because of the local elections. And since Péter Magyar has interestingly, quite a big support also outside from Budapest. He has a chance to gain some support and even to get 2 or 3 places in the EP.
But, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but over the years, I have not seen, maybe I don't remember, an opposition figure that is so talked about all over Europe, like Peter Magyar. And I'm just thinking, is it enough for him to be out in social media, in media around Europe, for him to win over Hungarian people? Because Orban is ruling for 14 years. He established his opinions and his, the way he rules with his people. Or is it perhaps too early for Magyar? Maybe he will stir some, commotion on the political stage. But is this going to take a couple of months, a year, 2 years, or it will take longer for Hungary to change their opinions about Orban?
Well, he's on the top of the wave now for sure, but he himself says that he's not gonna win, of course, from one day to another, but he has a chance, for example, for the next elections, to become the third biggest or even the second biggest force in the Hungarian political arena, which means that he cannot be, he wouldn't be avoided in futures politics. So he either to have a coalition with him in the opposition or in the government. So I think his main goal now is to become the third most important power in Hungary, and that's already a lot.
Yeah, and you said it's interesting that he cannot be avoided anymore. I think Orban takes him very seriously. I mean, let's just share a tweet here. Now, these are apparently pictures from certain billboards here. Now, my Hungarian is not so good, but I've been told this means here we see Mr. Magyar on the far right here, and I believe it says Brussels loyal servants in Hungarian here.
Yes.
And also, I think you have another MEP from Hungary there. You have also von der Leyen in the center. So tell us, I mean, this obviously has some influence from Fidesz. There are other billboards apparently around Budapest. So what does that say? How much of perhaps afraid Mr. Orban and Fidesz is of Mr. Magyar's support and potential?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so it practically means that so far in Hungary the opposition had always a big problem, which is called Ferenc Gyurcsány, the former socialist prime minister, who is still the most hated politic in Hungary. Far more people hate him than like him, and so far the government successfully connected all of his challengers with Gyurcsány. But Péter Magyar stepped up in the political arena with a message that I won't ever make any coalition, I won't ever have any common with Ferenc Gyurcsány. So that's I think something new, and that is partly the reason behind his successes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, we saw protests in Hungary. Do you believe before EU elections, is Hungary going to see more protests and more tensions?
I don't think that these are tensions. The devoted voters from both Fidesz, of course, they are less now. It's about 2.3 million. It's still a lot. But the arrival of Péter Magyar caused that smaller oppositional parties will lose a lot. So actually he took votes. He's taking votes from them. So Fidesz's decline will come to an extent that there will be no more, and the Socialist Party, it's called Democratic Coalition, they won't gain more with this. So they have like, I don't know, 8 or 10% altogether with Fidesz's 30 or 40. The less will be taken over by Péter Magyar. Of course, question is how many people will go to vote in 2 months.
Right, so I think we're going to have much more of a very interesting context up ahead, up until, as you said, those June European elections and those local elections in Hungary, so we'll have to check in on that another time. Look, thanks so much for that insight from Hungary there. That was our guest, Gáspár Keresztes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Thank you very much.